When credit card companies want to ramp up their customer acquisition on one of their cards, they typically increase the value of that card's sign-up bonus. Seems logical enough, right? Well, recently, Capital One did just that on its Venture Rewards card, adding a $250 travel credit to its already existing 75,000 Capital One miles while keeping the spend requirement steady at $4,000. Per the aforementioned logic, that means that Capital One is trying to add more customers on its Venture card. This prompts the question though in my mind, why? To me, the Venture card has seemed like Capital One's unfavored child, marginalized by the generally more attractive cards in the Saver One or Venture X, and also a relatively weak player in the mid-tier travel credit card space. Well, maybe making it more favorable is exactly the reason. But then, if the sign-up bonus is the main draw, then there will be more people who will just hold the card for 1 year and cancel. A whirlwind of questions. So in this one, I'm going to attempt to rationalize the elevated bonus on the Venture card beyond just the immediate customer acquisition and into what might Capital One's grander plans for not just this card, but also the premium Venture X card might be. If fun topics like this sound good to you, then consider giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel, a free and easy way to stay tuned. First, let's go over what the $95 Venture card has to offer. For the multipliers, you'll get an unlimited 5x Capital One miles on hotels and car rentals booked through Capital One Travel and 2x on everything else. The card is very viable as a catch-all since it also comes with no foreign transaction fees and it's a Visa card, meaning that you can pretty much use it at any merchant worldwide that accepts credit cards. Then, in terms of the benefits, notably you'll get a $100 statement credit for TSA PreCheck and Global Entry every 4 years, Hertz 5-star status, and access to the Lifestyle Collection, where a stay includes a $50 experience credit, room upgrade, early check-in, and late checkout when available. Also, until the end of 2024, you'll get 2 complimentary visits to Capital One lounges or Plaza Premium lounges. Setting an end date to this benefit was actually a pretty recent nerf to this card. So what gives, right? The most recent thing that we remember of the Venture card was a nerf, and now Capital One wants to have more customers apply for it? Well, I think this is because the next move that Capital One will make on the Venture card will be some form of a buff. The pattern of elevating a card sign-up bonus and then giving it a refresh either simultaneously or shortly after has been a pretty common pattern in recent history. Chase did this with 80,000 and 100,000 sign-up bonuses on the Sapphire Preferred card before the card was refreshed in August of 2021. And recently in May, when Citi updated the old Premier card to the now Strata Premier card, it increased the sign-up bonus to 75,000 points. A positive refresh on the Venture card is also needed if it is to better compete with the Sapphire Preferred and Strata Premier cards, as well as the Wells Fargo Autograph Journey card. A detailed comparison of these 4 mid-tier travel cards probably warrants another video entirely. So more succinctly, I think that the Venture card needs at least one more standout or semi-standout feature in order to better compete with the other 3 cards. Right now, the Venture stands out primarily for its 2x on everything, in my opinion, and the standout features for the other 3 cards are as follows. The Sapphire Preferred is Chase's cheapest card that gives access to its transfer partners. The Strata Premier has a bunch of 3x multipliers in important categories like gas and groceries, and the Autograph Journey offers 5x on hotels and 4x on flights. So how might the Venture card be buffed realistically? Well, it could take a leaf out of the Sapphire Preferred's book and add something like a $50 annual credit for hotel and car rental bookings through Capital One Travel, or better yet, also allowing that credit to apply for flights on the portal. Or the Venture could mirror a key benefit on the Venture X card in the 10,000 anniversary miles, maybe something like 5,000 anniversary miles if one spends $10,000 in a year. Personally, Honestly, I quite like that last one, and it might encourage me to spend more on the venture card than I otherwise would have. I know Capital One would like that for sure. Alright, remember that the title of this video mentioned the venture cards. So we need to talk about how the elevated bonus on the venture might impact the Venture X. To set the stage, while Capital One's approval criteria is unclear and may vary from person to person, we can say that generally, Capital One wants their customers to spend exclusively on their cards, at least more so than other issuers. I say this because Capital One has tended to decline people who have opened a lot of credit cards or have had a lot of recent hard inquiries, as this is a decent indicator of somebody who likes to maximize value across multiple credit cards. For example, I'm definitely one of those maximizers, having 13 open personal credit cards and 11 hard inquiries in the last 24 months, and my recent attempt at getting a pre-approval for the venture card ended in failure. I only got a pre-approval for the Venture One rewards for good credit. Now, if you manage to get approved for the venture card with the current elevated bonus, I imagine that your chances for getting approved for the Venture X down the line won't be too strong, especially if you've opened additional credit cards or gotten hard inquiries in the interim. Getting an upgrade to the Venture X shouldn't be too much of a problem for most, but no new sign-up bonuses for you maximizers out there. The result? Fewer new Venture X cardholders, at least of the type that Capital One views as unfavorable. Also, if indeed the current elevated bonus on the venture is a prelude to a buff on the card, then there will be fewer people who maybe just go for the Venture X because it's that much more valuable than the venture, even if the venture better suits their travel preferences and frequency. A quick comparison of the two cards boils down to the following. If you can organically use the $300 travel credit on the Venture X, then the effective annual fee is $95, same as the venture, and making the 10,000 anniversary miles and multiple other benefits on the venture card just value on top. To me, you'd only choose the venture in its current form over the Venture X if 1, you just don't want to pay that much upfront in annual fees, or 2, you don't travel enough to get sufficient value from what the Venture X offers on top of the venture. If the venture does get buffed, then Capital One will have a more competitive mid-tier option and a still very competitive premium option, as well as greater differentiation between the two cards. It just makes for an overall more attractive venture lineup, and again, gives people whose travel preferences and frequencies better align with a mid-tier card an easier choice of a Capital One card. As exciting as these predictions might be, it sadly may never be something that is relevant to me if Capital One's approval criteria remains as it currently is. Same deal with my wife, who also maximizes value across multiple credit cards. A few months ago, she attempted to get the Venture X and was told, nah, in quite resounding fashion. To see exactly what happened, check out this video here. Here's your card nerd signing off on this one. Peace.